From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets. Yo, 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 what's good, what's good, what's good? We in the building with it. And my boy Lenny changed his name to Wrap Up Podcast. I like that, I like that. I like that, man. Reflect your name, man. Reflect your name, let me get right. Let's get right. I'm saying people know exactly what y'all, what you represent. I think that's a dope move. That's a nice move right there. Let's go. That's fire. Yes, sir. That's fire. I like that, man. That's fire. All right, check this out, man. So, got quite a few things to talk about tonight, baby. But before we get to it, though, you know we gotta start off our day being thankful and show that we're grateful to the one above, you know. Because if it's not for him, then him and his love, then we wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So let's bow our heads. Lord, thank you for blessing us with this wonderful, beautiful day. Thank you for letting us live to see it. No matter what goes on throughout the day, throughout the course of the day, or what happened yesterday, or what's planned for tomorrow. We just want to show our gratitude for letting us live to see this one, and know that giving us the hope and the faith to know that no matter what hardships we may see or face, that we have the ability to overcome as long as we put our faith in the right place, and that place is in you. So thank you, Father, and yeah, amen. In Jesus' name. Oh, and also I want to throw up another prayer for Francis Ngannou. Rest in peace to his he just lost his son, I believe 15-month-old son. So rest in peace to him. My sincerest condolences go out to the Ngannou family. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's get right. All right, let's get it, man. We are here, man. We are here. My boy Lenny B in the building. All right, so today we're gonna talk about what y'all see right there, man. Jake Paul. All praise, yes, sir. The one and only Father. So we're going to talk about Jake Paul, man. I'm not going to lie, man. I've been saying this and people have been mad at me. They get in my words misconstrued. You know, people, you can say what you want, but people will try to hear what they want and manipulate your words and try to control the narrative. Like I'm going for Jake Paul, or I don't have faith in Mike Tyson. It's not about faith in Mike Tyson. You know, I got love for Mike Tyson. I'm definitely going for Mike Tyson. I'm rooting for Mike Tyson, but I'm a little nervous, man. I feel like they've been pushing a little too hard for this fight to be sanctioned, a professional, a sanctioned professional fight, a professionally sanctioned fight. Like, it's unnecessary. You know, people say, "Oh, we wanted an exhibition so you can get knocked." I mean, we don't want it to be an exhibition so you can get knocks out. We want to be able to get knockout. You know, if it's an exhibition, you won't be able to get a knockout. I'm like, bro, that's not the case. Well, like, yeah, well, it'll be more exciting. It'll be more exciting if we could get a knockout. And I'm like, no, bro, that's not the case. So I look at him and tell him,
shut up, bitch.
Well, if it's not an exhibition, then more people will want to watch it. Bro, exhibition, like, this is boxing. Boxing, a knockout does not have anything to do with it being an exhibition, besides the fact that the sport is boxing. Like, if you watch boxing, everything has its own individual terms and individual negotiations. Like, I always go back to Floyd knocking out Japanese buddy. I believe he's Japanese, like I said, definitely Asian, but I believe specifically Japanese. Floyd knocked him out. That was an exhibition. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that this fight is 8 2-minute rounds. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I don't even think the women should fight at 2-minute rounds anymore. I think they should be at 3-minute rounds. But the fact is, it's 14-ounce gloves, 8 2-minute rounds, and it's a professionally sanctioned fight. Why? That lets you know that the fix is in, man. Like, tell me what significance this has for Mike Tyson. How is Mike Tyson the beneficiary of this? If he loses, it's going to go on his record. If he wins, who cares? No one's going to give him credit. I don't care if he was 105 with a cane on, with a walking cane. No one's going to give him credit for being Jake Paul. It does nothing. What you going to do? If Mike Tyson wins, what's he going to do? He going to fight the next heavyweight champion? He going to be in line to fight Tyson, the winner of Tyson Fury or Alexander Usyk? who he gonna fight? So that's the point I'm trying to make to these people that are just so lost in the sauce and ignorant. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bona fide, definitive thing that Mike Tyson is gonna lose. It's a fix for sure. But I'm saying that this is hinting towards that, because if Jake Paul wins, what has Jake Paul been saying? What has he been doing? He's been calling out Canelo this whole time. Jake Paul is the active fighter. If he wins, it's gonna make him look good. It's gonna be the first legitimate, the first legendary, the first iconic, the first real boxer that he has ever fought. And to get a W by his name, that's just going to strengthen anything that he wants to do, whether it's to go for a championship fight, whether it's to challenge the face of boxing in Canelo, whatever it is, so whatever the case may be, he is definitely going to reap the benefits of this. And if he loses, guess what? Well, I only lost to a legend. I only lost to an icon. I only lost to the boxer with the most devastating power in heavyweight boxing history. That's what he's going to say. You see what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know, man. I don't like it at all. I've never watched any of these exhibition fights. As much as I love Floyd, I think Floyd's a GOAT. I've never watched any of his exhibition fights. I'm going to watch this because Mike Tyson is so iconic and he's so intriguing and compelling, and you know what I'm saying? He just, I have so much admiration for Mike, that I'm gonna watch it. So it's gonna be the first time I watch it. I have a bad feeling, man. I don't think it's gonna be. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know some people are saying that Mike Tyson may get knocked out. Some of the naysayers, like, people act like it's just me. It's not just me thinking this. Mike Tyson is 30 years his senior. He's 30. Let me say that again. He's 30 years his senior.
Damn.
Yeah. So, let me bring up the topics right here, man. I want to bring back this segment, man. We gonna call this segment NahmTalmBout. Every time we do a boxing thing, as you can see in the title, it's called NTB, BoxingTingz. That means that NTB stands, for those of you that are uncultured, means NahmTalmBout. NTB, NahmTalmBout means know what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna show you right here. That's for y'all that are unfamiliar with the slang and the twang. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna get you. There it is. I just said it on accident. I didn't even say it on purpose. So yeah, right here at your screen it says NahmTalmBout, and those are the six. These are the 6 topics that we're gonna do and we're gonna cover for every time I come on. I'm gonna try to have topics that we can go over and that you can see visibly and keep up. So right now we're talking about Canelo and Jake Paul. Obviously, Tyson and Jake Paul. And I think just with like I said, with Tyson, I just think there's nothing for him to gain, And somebody told me, of course, on Twitter, only idiots, only idiots inhabit Twitter. If you say up, they're just, everybody's a contrarian. If you say the sky is up, they're gonna say the sky is down, just to be different. You can never say, no matter what you say, no matter how simple and easy it is, somebody's gonna have a problem with it. You can say 1 + 1 is 2, and they're gonna say, well, actually, shut your goofy behind down, man. I said that, Mike Tyson, if you watch his older fights, his last fights, he got tired. That was 20 years ago. He's not gonna get any less tired now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's 30 years his senior. He's 57. Jake Paul's 27. So like I said, I don't think Jake Paul's gonna knock him out or anything like that. I mean, it could happen. When you're a geriatric almost. Only on Twitter, bro. So I'm not saying he's gonna knock him out, but what I think is gonna happen is that Mike Tyson's gonna get tired. He's gonna tire him out. He's not gonna knock him out, in my opinion. He's gonna tire him out, and by doing that, he's gonna let Mike Tyson expend all his energy, and he's just gonna, whether you like Jake Paul or not, he's an in shape young boxing individual. You see what I'm saying? So you can say he's not good at boxing, but he's still in shape. He was still traded with BJ Flores and now Jay Leon Love and everything. So, he's going to be in physical shape. He's a strong guy. He's a big guy. So he's going to have that straight endurance, at the very least. JRN in the building, man. Join the YouTube side, brother. Join the YouTube side. So at the very end of the day, he's going to be an in shape 27-year-old. And Mike Tyson, like I said, his last 2 fights of his career, which was 20 years ago, what happened? How did he lose? He was tired. He was visibly tired, man. So what's the upside is that what's the last thing to go for boxers, right? It's your punching power. It's kind of like your jump shot in basketball. What's the last thing to go in basketball? Your jump shot. You know what I'm saying? So you can still be effective. That's why Ray Allen was so effective for so long, because your jump shot's the last thing to go. But it's one of the first. So similar to that, comparably, it's comparable to a jump shot. Your power. So your power is going to stay with you. But what's the first thing to go? What's the last thing to go is your power. The first thing to go is your athleticism Your endurance and your punch resistance. You can't take a punch as well. You're not going to be able to be as physically in shape. You're not going to be able to last as long. Pause. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Not be able to last as long as crazy.
What?
And what was I saying? Punch resistance. And you're not going to be able to take a punch as well either. So things that hurt, that pain going to last a little longer. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my 30s. So when I stub my toe, you know what I'm saying? That joke going to hurt for about 2 weeks. But when I was 19 or in my 20s, stubbing my toe, I might be all right. It give me 15 minutes and a Pepsi. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Now, I might stub my toe. I can't walk for 2 weeks. No, let me stop. I'm just playing. But yeah, so I just think with Tyson and Jake Paul, there's absolutely nothing. Like, yeah, someone on Twitter, I forgot to finish that story. Someone on Twitter said, oh, well, Mike Tyson gets paid. I said, Mike Tyson gets paid for the fight. Whether it's an exhibition or it's a professionally sanctioned fight, it's inconsequential to him getting paid, you freaking doofus. Let me play that for you, you freaking doofus. Like, you dumb. What does it have? What does the classification of the fight have to do with him getting paid? I'm like, he gets paid regardless. You know what I'm saying? So this has nothing to do. Now, if you want to make an argument that, oh, people are going to take it more seriously, so more people want to watch now, it's not technically an exhibition, I guess you can make that argument, but it's still not significant enough to say that he's going to make substantial more or less money because it's a professionally sanctioned fight or versus an exhibition. So I just think that everything you can't. I have yet to see anybody tell me how is it beneficial for Mike to make it a pro fight. I can only think of the benefits going for Jake Paul's favor. You know, as far as the implications on what he could do if he beats Mike Tyson and it actually counting towards his record. So that was it, man. So I want to cover that. So we talked about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. So we go get that one out the way. Yes, sir. You like that, ain't it? So we crossed it out. You see that? Yes, sir. That's fire, ain't it? That's fire. I know. Fire. Boy, work hard at this thing. You know what I'm talking about? But so let's get right to the next one. So that moves us to our next transition, and this is why I really think that Jake Paul wants it to be a professional fight, because Jake versus Canelo at our second topic. Jake Paul has been calling out Canelo's for years now, right? And Canelo what? Canelo's like, man, you're joking, man. You fooling, man. Hey, that's not a real fight, man. You just bull jiving. You don't really try to fight me. You're not really trying to fight at all. You just gonna get hurt. Like Jake Canelo would laugh it off and dismiss him, right? Be very dismissive. However, that's Jake Paul who didn't have a following. He always had a following, but that's Jake Paul who doesn't have a serious following as far as respect goes. He didn't have a respectful following as far as people thinking that he's a serious contender, right? If Mike Tyson beats him, if he beats Mike Tyson, people are going to give him credit for Mike Tyson. They're not going to care that it was Mike Tyson at 58. They're not going to care that it was Mike Tyson 20 years removed from his last professional fight. They're not going to care that it was Mike Tyson who was just on a cane. I don't care if it was due to surgical procedures or whatever it was, whatever the reason was. He was still on a cane a year ago. All they're going to see is that there's Iron Mike. And they're going to look at the records and going to say, Jake Paul, Iron Mike, W by Jake Paul, L by Iron Mike. That's it. And that's going to be justification enough for people, these goofies, these idiots, these fools, to take him seriously. To take it seriously and be like, okay, well, yeah, I'm really interested now. I wonder how Jake Paul will do against Canelo. We saw what he did against Mike Tyson, so, you know, he could definitely beat Canelo. I'm very interested in that. And that's the part that's crazy to me. And then, look, I'm not knocking Canelo. Get your money. If you could do two jobs, you have job A for $50,000, and you have job B. It's the same as job A, but they give you $150,000. Why wouldn't you take job B? If you got to do the same job, but they're gonna give you more money for it, why not do that? So if Canelo fights Jake Paul and it's enough backing behind it, then Canelo's gonna take it. And you can't knock Canelo. It's an easy payday, bro. He gonna beat the hell out of Jake Paul. He gonna have Jake Paul looking like this.
Get him up. Let him get up. Let him get up. Fight back, nigga. Fight back.
And the only difference between that and Jake Paul is that Jake Paul ain't gonna be able to take that many punches. You know what I'm saying? Canelo gonna hit him one time. One time you're done. K in the building. What's good? Facts. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. People think that I'm hating. I'm not hating on Jake Paul. I love the fact that Jake Paul can do what he wants, and you know he has a following and get compensated for the revenue that he generates. However, I think as me being a boxing purist, a pugilist enthusiast, I love boxing. So for me, it's gonna taint the already questionable integrity that boxing has. You see what I'm saying? People already accuse boxing of having fixes. People already accuse with the judges, you know, that there's robberies and sometimes the antics of the ref or the behavior of the ref. People already think that it's kind of predetermined who's gonna win. So this definitely not gonna help. You know what I'm saying? So I really do think that if Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson, that's gonna have a snowball effect, and sooner or later we go see Canelo versus Jake Paul, because then he'll be justified to fight him. Because right now, if Canelo fights Jake Paul, people ain't gonna have that. You know, he already gonna lose respect, especially not fighting David Benavidez. So then people go, oh, you're not gonna fight David Benavidez. You're fighting Munguia. See how they treat Munguia like Munguia is trash. I want him to fight David Benavidez, but I respect the Munguia fight as well. But if he's not fighting David Benavidez and then he fights Munguia and then he fights Jake Paul, man, people are gonna be on his head. But if Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson, you can't say nothing. You can't say nothing, because people are gonna be dumb. They gonna think that he could beat him. And that's a fact. So this brings me to and that'd be a perfect way to end your career, right? Canelo already has 60-something fights. Me personally, I think Canelo doesn't have to fight anybody. Nothing's gonna tarnish his legacy, because unless he loses to Jake Paul or something like that, that'd be crazy. But to me, Canelo's he's a living legend, man. He's an all-time great already. You know, it's just like Floyd at the end of his career. You know, Canelo has 60-something fights already, so he doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. You know, but I just would like for him to fight Benavidez, because I think that's a great fight. I actually think he wins. But yeah, he doesn't have to fight anybody, man. He's already solidified. He has Hall of Famers. He has so much on his resume. I say resume because your resume is not just your record, your win and loss, but it's also what you accomplished. Like, Canelo has accomplished undisputed. Canelo has multiple Hall of Famers on his resume, win or lose. You know what I'm saying? Canelo has trilogies with great fighters. He moved up and fought at higher weight divisions and stuff like that. So he's a multi-division champ. So he's a beast, man. So he's good. But this is what I say though. And what does everybody do? You know what I'm saying? We done with this. We're going to move on to Canelo. You see Canelo right there. And what does everybody do in boxing? To me, they try to emulate the GOAT. In my opinion, the greatest of all time is Floyd Mayweather. Not just from what he did in the ring, but his accomplishments outside the ring as well, you know. And he kind of shifted the power to the boxer and let them think and be able to maximize their dollar, what they're worth. And I don't think that people demonize him for that. But I think that's good, man. You should try to get compensated as much as you can. I'm not saying that everything that somebody does is perfect, nah, but I think that you know, you should control yourself as much as you can. And you know, he has TMT, he has Leonard Ellaby, and so many lives that he's changed, and so many that he touched. Not to mention his prospective fighters and his fighters that are solidified, like Tank and stuff like that. People like to emphasize your shortcomings, but they don't recognize or overlook or completely disregard your accomplishments and what you did right for the sport, man. I think Floyd, well, he was the face of boxing, whether you liked it or not. Whether you tuned in to see him win or you tuned in to see him lose, you tuned in. You know what I'm talking about? So and now he earned that too. He has so many Hall of Famers on his resume, from the Oscars to the Pacquiaos to the Cottos to the Sugar Shanes. You know what I'm saying? To the Zab Judah. So it is what it is. He conquered them all. You know what I'm saying? So I think, but this is the correlation I'm making between Canelo, right? Canelo has so much admiration for Floyd. You know, just the other day, he was just like, man, I appreciate what Floyd said, because he knows everything as far as how to relate to somebody being on top of the world like that, and everything that you do being scrutinized and critiqued, for better or for worse. And so I think that with that admiration for him, a lot of people look at like Gervonta or Devin Haney, or like mostly the black fighters following Floyd's footsteps. No, all fighters follow Floyd footsteps. And Canelo is one of them as well. And I think, what did Floyd do at the end of his career, y'all? Stick with me now. Who did he fight at? Who was the last person he fought? Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor.
Who the fuck is that guy?
That was the last person he fought, right?
You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
Yo, Samurai, what's good? Hey, join the YouTube side, man. Join the YouTube side, bro. Join the YouTube side. We're trying to get monetized, bro. That helped me out a lot. So he fought Conor. Join the YouTube side, bro. So he fought Conor McGregor, right? If Canelo has 60 fights, right? 60 wins, 2 draws, I believe, and 2 losses, I believe, right? 2 losses to Floyd and Bivol. I honestly think that he could have 3 losses, because I feel like Erislandy Lara beat him, and I think that first fight with Triple G could have been a loss as well. I had Triple G winning, but it was a close fight. I'm cool with it going either way, a draw or a win for Triple G. But it is what it is. That's not the point. The point is that he's 33 years old, but he has a lot of fights. He has a lot of ring mileage, and he's approaching the end of his career, right? So what better way to end your, hold on. My fault, man. One of my dogs want to come in and play. Hey, Dan's in the building. Let's get right, bro. I appreciate that. Don't forget to like the video. If you're on the YouTube side, appreciate that, Dens. But yeah, so what perfect way if you're following Floyd Mayweather, who laid the foundation, who drew the blueprint? Canelo would want to fight, would want to take easier fights at the tail end of his career, easier fights and maximize his dollar. Guess what? Guess what Jake Paul does for Canelo, especially if he beats Mike Tyson. He's gonna maximize his dollar, and it's gonna be an easy fight. If not probably his easy. It's gonna be his easiest fight. So I'm telling you, if you connect the dots, man, if you really try to look, I'm not saying I'm right, but damn it, I'm not saying I'm wrong either. I'm saying that this is what it could mean. Mike Tyson could go in there, the bell ring, ding, and he go and rock Jake Paul in round 1 with 5 seconds into the fight and knock him clean, smooth out. I could be wrong. He could walk up to Jake Paul and say, "Nigga, you's a bitch." He could run up on him just like that and drop him. I don't know. You know, I'm not saying that for sure, but what I'm saying is if you connect the dots, most likely that's not, I think, in my opinion, I think that's a very slim chance that happens. I think the bigger chance is that Jake Paul wins a very boring fight because it's basically an exhibition. I think he's going to let Mike Tyson tire himself out, and I think he's going to grab him, and I think he's going to clinch him, and that's it. And just win a sloppy, messy fight. What is Mike and Jake? Sorry you have already. No, you're all right. You're all right, Rico. You just got here. You're all right, Rico. Appreciate you joining, man. I appreciate you being considerate, but you ain't got to apologize. But you said, when is it? Is it June 20th or July 20th? Shoot. Don't get me to lie. I just dropped a video on it, too, and I said it, but I don't remember, man. Let me look it up. I'll tell you right now. I believe it's July 20th? I believe it's July 20th. Yeah, July 20th. Yeah, I remember it's the 20th. Yeah, one of them J's. Yeah, it's July 20th. You're all right. So, yeah, so I think that if you just follow the breadcrumbs that they're leaving, man, I think anything can happen in boxing, right? We just saw Ryan Garcia brutalize and dominate Devin Haney. So anything can happen in boxing, but I think that if you follow, you know, if you follow what they're giving, then JRN in the building, then most likely there's a pretty big chance that Jake Paul may just beat Mike Tyson, man. Not to mention he's 30 years his junior. You know, Jake Paul 30 years his junior. So I think all the dots are flowing to Canelo and to his career. So I'm not saying that he might fight Jake Paul this year or something like that. I don't know how many fights Canelo has left, especially with Turki Al-Sheikh saying he wants Canelo to fight Terrence Crawford, right? Turki Al-Sheikh has openly said that. And he even said that he wants Benavidez to fight the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol, which, too much of my dismay. I like that fight too, but I would rather see Canelo versus Benavidez, and I wish Turki Al-Sheikh wanted that as much as we did. But people also don't think about this too, and I said this in one of my videos. I just didn't stay on it for too long. But I said, can you imagine Turki Al-Sheikh? He likes boxers, not just boxing. He likes the boxers. If you see every boxer, like all the big name boxers, he's always like, you know what I'm saying, having fellowship with them, communicate with them, take pictures with them. What if Turki Al-Sheikh respects Canelo's decision? He doesn't mind him not fighting David Benavidez, so he's not gonna push for it either. If anybody could offer Canelo that $200 million that he requested for David Benavidez, it'll be Turki Al-Sheikh. What if Turki Al-Sheikh's like, okay, I hear you, Canelo. I respect you, Canelo. I respect what you have done. So I want Benavidez to fight the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev because I think that's a great fight too. And I want you to fight Crawford. But if you don't want to fight it, oh well, because it'll be easier for Canelo to turn down Crawford in the public eye because he already said that it's a lose-lose situation for him, because if he beats Crawford, people are just going to say, oh, it don't matter. We knew he was going to win because Crawford's too small. And if he loses to Crawford, people are going to accuse him of being a bigger fraud than he already is. So maybe Turki Al-Sheikh is not pushing for the Benavidez because the Benavidez-Canelo fight, because he respects Canelo. Was like, hey, if Canelo don't want to fight him, then I'm not going to try to push the envelope. And that'll even let you further know that Canelo might fight Jake Paul. And I'm not saying this year, but it could be next year. And Canelo said that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Canelo said that he wants to be done with boxing by 35. And if he fights one time a year, that's 2 fights away. He's 33 right now, and he's fighting Munguia. So that's potentially 2 fights away. You telling me that if Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson, that Jake Paul will not be Canelo's final ride off into the sunset with the following that Jake Paul has? Come on, man. Come on, man. Canelo don't need Crawford. I never said Canelo needs Crawford, so shut up, Marcos. When did I say Canelo needs Crawford? Haiti versus Garcia was outrageous, man. Was it 5 times he got dropped? It should have been 5 times, but it was 3 times officially. I think at the minimum it should have been 4. I'm hoping Tyson beats Paul, although it's very. I'm hoping he beats him too. Kane was good, Kane. I'm hoping he beats him too, but like I said, don't look good, brother. Not just from not even just the fight, but things beyond the fight, things outside of the ring. That I'm saying, the circumstances outside of the ring is I don't know, man. I don't know, man. So yeah, we're moving on. Makes perfect sense, to be honest. Kane, thank you, bro. People think I'm hating on something. I'm not. I'm just speaking on what I'm observing and what I'm gathering, man. You know, God gave us a brain for our logic and a heart for our emotions. You don't want to think with straight your feelings, and you don't want to operate straight off your heart, because then you'll be doing moves that are you'll be making moves that are predicated off of emotion. You don't want to move straight off your intelligence of your brain either, because then you'll be moving with stuff straight off of logic, and you'll lack compassion and you'll lack feeling, and you might make the wrong move there. But you got to combine the two. So I like Mike Tyson. My heart is going with Mike Tyson to win easily, but then my brain is like, hold on, he's 60. He's 60, and then also Jake Paul has been calling out Canelo for how long, and why would this be a professionally sanctioned fight? Mike Tyson and Jake Paul can still share the ring and it be an exhibition. But the fact that Jake Paul is the only beneficiary from it being a professionally sanctioned fight, I'm like, okay, Ben, I'm connecting the dots now. We might see Canelo versus Jake Paul, man. Don't be shocked. All right, so that's it for that one, man. That's all I want. That's just my theory, you know, and call it a conspiracy theory. Whatever. Like I said, I could be wrong. And Mike Tyson could come out there and hit Jake Paul one time, and we looking at Jake Paul like this.
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Give me my goddamn money.
And so I could be wrong, man. I could be wrong, but we shall see, man. We shall see. But speaking of that, man, speaking of Canelo retiring and being like Floyd, you know, and finishing his career like Floyd with an easy fight. You know, Floyd had Conor McGregor, and then Canelo potentially has Jake Paul, yet to be seen. I want to talk about some more upcoming fights that we have. Ali for me, but we cannot deny Floyd's greatness. He's done enough. Yeah, I think, to me, bro, like, there's a whole bunch of people that you could consider the greatest of all time. It's not just Ali and Floyd. It's Floyd. For me, it's Floyd. He's number 1. But you could consider Floyd. You could consider Pacquiao. You could consider Muhammad Ali. You could consider Sugar Ray Robinson. Hell, you could consider Sugar Ray Leonard. You could consider Julio Cesar Chavez. These are just my opinion. All these people, and there's some more too, but I think are acceptable as for consideration of the GOAT. Me personally, though, if you're asking me, my opinion, I think Floyd is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion, but yeah, it's not the only acceptable answer. Yeah, I think, and then one day when Canelo retires, especially depending on how he ends his career, I think one could consider Canelo as one of the greatest of all time. If you want to break it down, you know, I mean, everybody has naysayers, right? So that's what makes sports so interesting, because there's not just one clear answer. You know, you can feel strong and adamant about something and passionate about something, but somebody always has a rebuttal. It's just you got to filter through the ones that are rebuttaling with nonsense, because a lot of people just have, they think that because that's your favorite fighter or your favorite person, that means that they're the best. Like, my favorite basketball player is Ray Allen. There's no way in hell I think Ray Allen is better than Michael Jordan or LeBron James or D Wade or whoever, or Larry Bird or Magic Johnson. No, he's just my favorite. I could tell the difference, and that's when it comes to emotions and logic, right? I could tell the difference between my favorite, who I just have an affinity for, who I like, between I could discern between who's the best and who's my favorite. Sometimes your favorite is also the best. Like, when it comes to boxing, my favorite boxer is Floyd, and I think he is the best. You know, that happens to coincide, but it doesn't always. But I have a lot of favorite fighters, though. I like Jermaine Taylor. Jermaine Taylor is probably the first fighter that I really was my favorite. You know, I like Jermaine Taylor. I like Roy a lot. I like Pacquiao a lot. I like Juan Manuel Marquez a lot. I like Floyd a lot. So, you know, I like Triple G a lot. I like Canelo a lot. So I like a lot of fighters. I like Caleb Plant a lot, who I think is a real boogeyman. Everybody calls Subaru Matias a real boogeyman. Matias don't really have the resume like that, or as far as the caliber of fighters like that. But Caleb Plant's the one that fights everybody, and he does a damn good job. And I don't think anybody really wants to fight him. I mean, he got stopped by Canelo. He went the distance with Dave Benavidez. And he's just a beast, man. I love to see Caleb Plant versus. I like to see him running back with Canelo. Running back with Dave Benavidez. I don't really think that's necessary, but you could do that. I want to see him against Jamal Charlo. I don't really want to see him against David Morrell, because I don't want him to pick up that, you know, I feel like then he'll start to get like the the label of being a gatekeeper, fighting Canelo, David Benavidez, and then David Morrell, because we anticipate David Morrell to be great. But I think that's a good fight. I think Caleb Plant could beat him. I think Caleb Plant wins. But I feel like if he fights, David Morrell only has 10 fights. Maybe that's a fight that can happen later, you know. But I think if he fights him right now, it'll just be like then he'll start to, you know, take like the gatekeeper role. I don't think that's necessary for him. Den's in the building. All right, so look, so next up, like I said, we talk about upcoming fights, right? I think that's what we left off. Yeah, so let's talk about these upcoming fights, man. May and June, the schedule for boxing is crazy, man. May and June. So we have May 4th, which is this weekend, of course, Cinco de Mayo weekend. Shout out to my Hispanic brethren and sister, well, particularly my Mexican brethren and sister. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. Yeah, Cinco de Mayo coming up. But look, though, a lot of people don't realize this. Or maybe they do. Please don't forget to hit that like button as well. But May 4th is Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia, right? Guess what's on Monday? Now you're Inoue versus Louis Neary. Remember, I was talking about this stuff about now you're Inoue. People don't watch it on this side of the world because, you know, the time that it's on is gonna be at like 4 o'clock in the morning. But I'm gonna watch it, so y'all come and tap in with me. But we have Canelo versus Munguia on May 4th. We have May 6th. We have now you're versus Louis Neary. Now you're Inoue, who I think is the number 2 pound for pound fighter. And Louis Neary might be trying to come for an upset. I don't think he could do it, but that's going to be interesting, man. And then May 11th, the next week, we have Vasily Lomachenko versus George Kambosos. I have Lomachenko winning that, but I think that's going to be a war, man. Hey, Kane, I appreciate that sub, bro. That means a lot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the streets, man. Yes, sir. We are the streets when it comes to this boxing, man. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I appreciate you. I was going to say or sister because I want to assume, but I think Kane is a pretty safe. But appreciate you, that's all. But yeah, so then after I have Lomachenko winning. I think people are underestimating George Kambosos though, because I feel like they both feeling like that this could be their last ride, you know. And when you're in a desperate or situation where you feel like your back's against the wall, it might bring the best out of it. So I feel like Vasily Lomachenko, rest in peace, Arturo Gatti. I feel like Vasily Lomachenko and George Kambosos has the potential to be a war like Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti, man. I just have that feeling. I could be wrong, but I just have that feeling. I have Lomachenko winning that, though. You know, they both have L's to Devin Haney. Lomachenko lost to Teofimo as well pretty badly, but George Kambosos beat Teofimo. So they have some common opponents. You know, some people had Lomachenko beating Devin Haney. I personally had Lomachenko beating Devin Haney, but I thought it was a close fight. I don't scream a robbery, because I thought it was a close fight that literally could have went either way. It's so funny to me that people say it's a very close fight that could go either way, but if it doesn't go the way of the person that they like, they'll say it's a robbery. So I'm not gonna say it's a robbery, but I had Lomachenko winning by I think 2 rounds, you know, when I scored that fight. But I thought it was so close that it could have been a Lomachenko win, a draw, or a Devin Haney win. So I was cool with the outcome. But me personally, I had Lomachenko winning, and I do like Lomachenko more than I like Devin Haney. But yeah, so then after that, May 18th, the following week, we have Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. I have Tyson Fury winning that one. That's good. That should be a good one. And then after that, we have Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall 2. I have Jack Catterall beating Josh Taylor in the second one, man. But we're going to see. Yeah, and then June 1st, we have Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. I think that's the best fight that can be made in boxing right now. The second best fight to me is Canelo and Benavidez, with the third best fight being, I would say Gervonta and Devin Haney, but not anymore. You know, maybe Gervonta and Shakur. Or Gervonta and Teofimo, or Teofimo and Shakur, some combination of those guys is 135, 140 pound division, lightweight and super lightweight. I think those are it. But Beterbiev and Bivol, this is a boxer's treat, man. People keep asking me who I think is gonna win, Beterbiev or Bivol. And I always say we win, because that's gonna be a great fight. And then after that, I mean not after that, before that, the same day, but the what's it called? Preliminary matchups. The undercard is a 5v5 Queensberry versus Matchroom. So that'll feature Wilder versus Deontay Wilder versus Big Bang Zhang. Like I said, I think Deontay Wilder, he's one of my favorite. He was one of my favorite fighters, you know, Bronze Bomber, and definitely one of my favorite heavyweight of this era. Although I think that Tyson Fury is the best, clearly. But Deontay Wilder, I'm concerned because I don't think that he could compete at a high level in a safe manner, man. But you know, especially after watching against Joseph Parker, he just like to show himself. He's just out there getting he's just getting beat on. You know what I'm saying? So he was just like, if you saw Jared Big Baby Anderson against Riyad Murray, he was just like Riyad Murray. He barely threw any punches, was just getting punched on the whole time. So I don't know if Wilder could really compete at a high level safely. I think he should retire. I think Zhang wins, in my opinion. And Wilder's not in his prime. He's an older dude. I think he's 39 too, and he has a lot of fights too. So you know, he has a lot of ring mileage. And then also on the 5v5 card, we have that I'm excited for. We have Ray Ford versus Nick Ball. I got Ray Ford winning that one. And then we have which I don't really know, Willie Hutchinson and Craig Richardson like that. I know Craig Richards, he lost to, if I'm not mistaken, he lost to Joshua Boatsy. And was it Beterbiev or Bivol? I can't remember. He fought one of them, so he has 2 L's. And then I'm really looking for Austin Emma Williams versus Hamza Shiraz as well. That's going to be a good one. And then I'm missing one more. I'm missing one. Oh, Philip Hergovich and Daniel Dubois. I fully anticipate Hergovich to win that. Zhang versus Wilder. They spoiling us now? Yeah, man. Yeah, but Wilder, like I said, Wilder's not the same, man. He's not the same. He said they saying Zoo versus Virgil will be the main event now. Crawford got moved down. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. yeah, sure. Anyway, we got Christian, and then after that, June 15th. I'm not really too excited for this, but we got Chris Billum Smith versus Richard Riakpour. And then June 15th, the same day, we have Gervonta Davis versus Frank Martin, man. Tank versus Frank. I think this is a very underrated fight. I think people are discrediting Frank Martin. Gervonta better lock in, man, because Frank is an undefeated fighter. He's a very good fighter. And I really anticipate this would be a great fight. And then on the undercard, you have Dave Benavidez versus Alexander Vosdick. That's going to be a banger, you know. And then I think on the same day, Subriel Matias is fighting Liam Paro too. I have to go check, but I think that's the same day too. So we have a lot of fights, man. And then after that, June 29th, we have Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Juan Francisco Estrada. That's gonna be fire. I got Bam by knockout, but that's gonna be another great one. So we have a lot of great fights coming up, man. We got a lot of great fights coming up, man. I cannot wait, bro. I cannot freaking wait, man. Shoot, I'm just excited and want to see Zhang win. Yeah, I like Big Bang Zhang, man. I like Big Bang Zhang. Like I said, the reason why, of course, people want Wilder to win because they want Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. I think that's long gone, man. Like that's a fight that's a decade in the making, over a decade in the making. Let that go. That's not gonna be the same anymore. Because I thought Deontay Wilder would win, but not now. Hell, I don't think Wilder beats any. Unfortunately, you know, I wish I felt differently, but like I said, I really like Wilder. I think people greatly and criminally discredit him for what he was because he was a one-trick pony. But well, that one-trick pony got him a long reigning championship. You know what I'm saying? At the top of his sport, he only lost to until Joseph Parker. He only lost to the best heavyweight of this current generation. That's Tyson Fury. So how could he be bad? You know, how could he be bad if somebody is good because they beat him? It literally doesn't make sense. But yeah, now he lost to Joseph Parker. I feel like if that was anybody besides Joseph Parker, he probably would have went to sleep, you know. So I think that was I was more intrigued and more shocked with how bad Deontay Wilder looked than I was impressed with how good Joseph Parker looked. Even though I think Joseph Parker looked good against Zhang now, that was impressive to overcome 2 knockdowns and win. That was impressive. But like I said, I think the world wants to see Wilder beat Zhang, but because I think people are more interested in Wilder versus AJ than AJ versus Zhang. But either way it goes, I think if Wilder, I think the better fight is Joshua versus Zhang. But if Wilder wins in impressive fashion, then hey, then that'll change a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm late when it comes to him. I became a fan after his last fight. I think it was the same night Joseph Parker fought. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, boxing, you can always watch the replays. But yeah, man, so which fight are y'all most interested in on the upcoming schedule for May and June? I'm not gonna lie, on this fight, on this schedule, what I just named, I'm very excited for Canelo versus Jaime Munguia because Munguia is a very exciting fighter, man. He throws a high volume of punches, he hits hard, and when it comes down to it, he's gonna fight. And he might block with his face, but he's definitely gonna fight. So Canelo's gonna have to fight. That's gonna be a good one. But I think I'm most interested in Tank versus Frank. I think that's gonna be a good one. Outside of Beterbiev and Bivol, Beterbiev, that's number one, of course. But outside of Beterbiev and Bivol, I'm most excited for Tank versus Frank, followed by the one we get this weekend, Canelo versus Jaime Munguia. I think those are going to be great fights, man. Especially that card with Tank versus Frank. That's going to be a great card. That is going to be a fantastic card, man. They're not even done naming the people that's going to be on it yet. So, hell, if he somehow beats him and fights AJ versus Wilder, I still have AJ win that. Yeah, I have AJ win. I have AJ winning against. Regardless if Zhang wins or if Wilder wins, I have AJ beating both. But that's not how I always felt. You know what I'm saying? I thought Wilder would have beat AJ easily if they would have fought in their prime. And I posed this question too on Twitter. People got mad at me. It's like, what other country, like only in England, bro, like Wilder and Tyson Fury fought. They're from 2 separate nations with a big ass ocean separating them. How the hell has Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua being countrymen in the same division, being the top at their sport, not fight each other for 10 plus years. That is unacceptable, bro. That definitely would have happened in America. I can't think of any country where that would have happened and people would just been cool with it. Like, I don't think that would have happened in Nigeria. I don't think it would have happened in freaking Japan. I don't think it would have happened in America, anywhere, bro. Brazil, Canada. I don't think it would happen anywhere, man. Like, to me, that's ridiculous. But anyway, I think they're all long overdue. But it's just that Tyson Fury still, he seems like he might still be on top of his game. I mean, we'll see when he fights Usyk. And then Anthony Joshua, he seems like he's coming on late, you know what I'm saying? And he looked very impressive against Ngannou. It's Ngannou, though. He's not a boxer. But he looked good against Ngannou, and he looked good against Otto Wallen, who was a sparring partner with that. If you really break it down and be critical, Anthony Joshua didn't really prove much. But he's passing the eye test, though. The eye test will show that he has improved a lot, especially with his new trainer, Ben Davison. But if you really look at his competition, who did he beat? He beat Otto Wallen, his last fights. He beat Otto Wallen and Francis Ngannou. So it really could be smoke and mirrors. So, and then who did he lose to? He lost to Alexander Usyk. It was just like the last good people that he fought. The last good person, contender, championship level fighter that he fought. He lost twice. So it could all be smoke and mirrors, but I will say this, I am interested. I still want to see Tyson Fury versus AJ because they're both seem good. I no longer want to see Deontay versus any of them because, like I said, I think it's time for him to retire, and I don't think that he, like I said, for his health and stuff like that, for his safety, for him to keep all his faculties in retirement, I think he should retire, in my opinion. But on top in his prime, I always said that I only thought he loses to Tyson Fury because I thought that matchup was good, but then when Tyson Fury when Deontay dropped him, I was like, okay, I thought you could seal the deal, but he did. It's all water on the bridge now. But yeah, I don't think Deontay Wilder's gonna beat Zhang. I don't think he beats Anthony Joshua. I don't think he didn't beat Joseph Parker. I don't think he beats Philip Hergovich. I don't think he beats any heavyweight contender at this point. Even Jared Big Baby Anderson's calling him out. Big Baby Anderson needs to go try to fight the winner of Ajit Caballel and Frank Sanchez. That's what we need to go fight. But yeah, so we done with the upcoming fights, man. I ain't never thought about that. Yeah, Jared, I'm telling you, if you really think about who AJ last fought, everybody's hyping. It could be hype. Like, I ain't gonna lie, he looks good, but he just beat Francis Ngannou. He's not a boxer. Francis Ngannou looked good against Tyson Fury, but he beat Otto Wallen. Otto Wallen and him, they've been sparring since they were kids. I ain't gonna say that long, but they've been sparring for a long time, so they're already familiar with each other. Otto Wallen's not a big threat. So if you really think about it, man, Anthony Joshua, we could be kind of hyping him up a little bit as far as how good he might be. But he lost to Alexander Usyk twice. He's just, he's saying he got dropped by Andy Ruiz. Lost Andy Ruiz, but he did avenge it. So I'm hoping that he is improving, because some people do come on later. So I hope fool me, please fool me. I hope he is. I want him to fool me because I want to believe that Anthony Joshua can really be a champion, and I really want to believe that him and Tyson Fury would be a good fight. But I will say that I think Tyson Fury is going to beat Usyk, and if Tyson Fury looks good against Usyk, like he looks like on top of his game, then I think he beats Anthony Joshua fairly easily as well, just from straight mobility. I think Tyson Fury can move better than, and his footwork is going to be too much for Anthony Joshua. But we'll see though, because if Anthony Joshua is who they're saying he is, and who he's leading us to believe right now, then Anthony Joshua may have turned the page, So I'm excited. I'll be excited to see it, man. So I just love boxing so much. So I'm down to see it, But I just gotta take the facts to it. I gotta analyze everything, But yeah, I think the most exciting one for me, like I said on this list, is outside of better be Bivol number 1, but number 2 for me is Tank versus Frank, and then number 3 will be Canelo versus Jaime Munguia. But don't sleep on Louis Neary, man. He's talking heavy, man. He's talking like he can upset Naoya Inoue. That'd be crazy, man. That would really shake up boxing. If Naoya Inoue loses, oh boy, you thought Ryan Garcia shaking up, beat Devin Haney was a shake up to the pound for pound. Oh my gosh, if Louis Neary manages to beat Naoya Inoue, boy. I already said this too. I think Junto Nakatani is the best fighter out of Japan. I want to see Junto Nakatani fight Naoya Inoue's brother Takuma Inoue, and then beat him, which I think he can, and then they'll set up like can you imagine the promotion and the lore and the background for that, and the build up for that between Junto Nakatani versus Naoya Inoue. They could beat at a catchweight. Naoya Inoue's one weight class above, but at a small weight to be 2 or 3 pound weight difference. So it's not big to overcome, not much to overcome. But they can even be that little catchweight in between, and it could set up like an arc to where Naoya Inoue's trying to avenge his brother or get revenge for his family because Junto Nakatani beat him. So I think that'd be fire, man. But Like I said, I still got Better Be Ever Bivol. I think that's the best fight in boxing. And then I got Tank versus Frank as far as upcoming fights from May to June to be in. I'm looking forward to that one the most, followed by the one we're getting this weekend with Canelo versus Jaime Munguia. Den's in the building, my guy. So next up, what will we talk about next? We'll talk about upcoming fights. Speaking of upcoming fights, what was I going to talk about again? Ryan Garcia. I want to talk about Ryan Garcia, man. So Ryan Garcia, people are still questioning if Ryan Garcia's win was fair. And I feel like that's unfair. But I will say the legitimacy, they have a little bit of legitimacy to their claims because, of course, he missed weight. But like I tell people, man, he didn't act in the outside the confines of boxing, right? Like, he's not the only person to miss weight. You know, Benavidez misses weight. Virgil Ortiz, we just saw this weekend, he misses weight habitually. You know what I'm saying? He just had to fight at a catch weight for 154. Like, what are we doing? And, you know, Floyd came in heavy against Juan Manuel Marquez. So once the fight keeps going and the fighters agree to the terms, whatever they may be, then it's fair. By definition, it's fair. You know, it's just that Devin Haney, unfortunately, had to pay twice. Devin Haney got paid twice, you know. It seemed like even though he got paid, he had to pay because he made Ryan Garcia pay for the money that he received for Ryan Garcia being overweight, which is $500K per pound, and 3 pounds is $1.5 million. But then he also paid because he took the L because he expected Ryan Garcia to. I don't think it's not that he didn't expect him to come in that heavy. I didn't think he thought it was going to be that much of an issue. But the 3 pounds does make a big issue. It's a big difference because, you know, Devin Haney does blow up like he did against Regis Prograis. He came in at 165, which is crazy. You're moving up to fight the bigger man at 140. You come in bigger than the guy that's supposed to be the bigger guy. So I just think it was karma. But I will say that in Devin Haney's defense, he always makes weight. He's a consummate professional. We got to give him that. And that's what he demonstrated there. He made weight and then he blew up. Which is a little advantage as well. But Ryan Garcia just played the same game and just one-upped him. You know, he said, I'm not even going to try to make weight. I'm just going to not make weight and then blow up. So the difference is that, you know, it's not really that it's a 3-pound advantage that he had, but it's the fact that he didn't have to lose those 3 pounds and kill his body. So it was easier for him to even put on more weight, you know what I'm saying, when he's not coming from 140. So he definitely had an advantage, yes, but to say it's unfair, no, those are the terms and they commence with the fight. Once the fight's a go, the fight's a go. So I don't think we should discredit Ryan Garcia. Now, were some of his tactics questionable? Yeah, like I thought, you know, him coming out saying that, I've said this from jump too. Him coming out saying that, oh, he was just trolling, people thought he was crazy. I think that's kind of a dangerous line to walk because I feel like that's kind of I think it's disrespectful, not just to the sport of boxing or whatever, but I think it's disrespectful to people who are really suffering from mental illnesses. You know, I know we all probably know people that have some type of mental ailment. I know I do, pretty close to me too, and I think that was a disservice to them and injustice to them. But I will tell you this: it's just that Ryan Garcia, you can't have it both ways. Either you're trolling or you have some mental instability there, you know, or you're going through something. But you can't have it both. You can't do it because if he would have lost, he would have. I don't know for sure, but I could just feel it that it would have been convenient that he's going through something mentally and depressed if he lost. But now that he won, he's trolling. So what I personally think, I think that it's a combination of both. I think that he is going through something, but he's just he's good at compartmentalizing. You know, he's very good at focusing on this and focusing on this. I feel like he just compartmentalized for the time being and was focused enough to beat Devin Haney. So I do think he's going through something. I said this a long time ago. I don't think he's just fully trolling. I don't think he's as crazy as he might seem. I don't think he's as off the rails as he might, as some of his actions have implied. But this erratic behavior, I think, is too much to be faking. But hey, he could be a great actor. I don't know. Maybe he needs an Oscar. A lot of action coming soon, bro. A lot of action coming soon, Kane. But as far as people discrediting Ryan Garcia, I don't think we should discredit Ryan Garcia. I think he just played the game, played Devin Haney's game. You know, Devin Haney been coming in big since Kambosos and Lomachenko, and he did the Regis Prograis, and he still came in pretty big. If I'm not mistaken, I think he came in at 160 for the fight against Ryan Garcia. It's just that, you know, that 3 pounds set him back, and I just think that it was just a miscalculation, and it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. I think Ryan Garcia, he got that win. He didn't get the belt. Devin Haney's still a champion. I don't think Devin Haney's a fraud. I think people are going too hard on Devin Haney as well, saying that he's a fraud and he's a hype job. I think he might be overhyped, but I always said that, though. I always thought Devin Haney was very selective with his opponents and very cautious with the pass that he taken to champion. But he still accomplished getting undisputed champion, the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. You can't take away his accomplishments and accolades from him. I think that's disingenuous at best, man. He's still a good fighter. I still think he's a better skilled boxer than Ryan Garcia. But that's the beauty in boxing, right? You can be more skilled and lose. You know what I'm saying? You still got to factor about durability. You still got to factor power. You still got to factor footwork. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about being the better boxer always wins. No, we see, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to have power. You got to have punch resistance, you know? So it's all these different things. So I don't think Devin Haney's a fraud. I do feel a little vindicated, though. I told people I don't think Devin Haney's as good as we think he is. So I feel right about that. But as far as people calling him trash, I think people just don't have any common sense, man. They're extremists, man. You got it can't just be in the middle. Like, you got to be either black or it got to be either white. You know, it can't just be a mixture of both, with which a lot of times things are. I think he's good. He's just not as good as everybody made him out to be. And I think that I think people also disregard. And I think it's, in my opinion, I told people it's ill-advised to disregard the fact that they have a history of a rivalry. Those of you that never played sports or never had a rivalry, if you got a rival academically, or whatever it is, you know, or your job. But whenever you're with somebody that's your rival, they bring out the best in you. So Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, them going 3-3 in amateurs, you can't disregard that. They have a history, so they not only do they know each other well, but for whatever reason, they bring out the best in each other. And so I was like, man, Ryan Garcia, people are acting like he has no chance. That's crazy, because he definitely has a chance, because from the simple part that they have history with each other. So like I said, I think both could exist, man. Devin Haney's not overrated. Well, I think he's overrated as far as people acting like it was a Haney era over the Mayweather era. So I don't think he's the best, but I still think he's a good fighter, and I think he could bounce back as long as that's what he wants to do, man. And I don't think he should leave his father either, but I do think they should probably bring in somebody else to kind of help with his development and stuff like that. But you know, everybody try to jump off the bandwagon once you lose. He only lost once. He still had many championships that he's obtained. So I don't think he should leave especially his father, you know, after one loss. But I think you can make an argument for it, but I just don't agree with that, in my opinion. But yeah, so then Ryan Garcia, I think, I'll be honest too, I like Ryan Garcia, so I was rooting for Ryan Garcia. I actually won money. I bet on Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney, but I still thought Devin Haney was going to win. But I was like, man, I'm going to take a chance, because number one, I like Ryan Garcia more than I like Devin Haney. And number two, you know, the odds were there, and I thought that he had a good chance to win just from their history or whatever. So, yeah, I also think that Ryan Garcia, I don't know what Ryan Garcia does from here. You know, I know he said he can't make 140. He has to go to 147. I don't know who he really beats at 147. I know he has some people that he can fight. But I know he's been calling out everybody. He called out Terrence Crawford, called out Errol Spence. He called out Sean O'Malley. People not even in boxing. He called the UFC guy Sean O'Malley, Conor Benn. I think he beats Conor Benn. I think he gets destroyed by Errol Spence. I think Bud is not even close. Bud gonna embarrass him, being number one pound for pound king. Who else he called out? He called out Sebastian Fedora. I think these guys are just too big. Maybe even if his power translates to the higher ranks, I just think these guys are just accustomed to being at a bigger weight for so long that even if he does still hit hard, I don't think that he's going to hit harder than the people that they've been hit by. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know who Ryan Garcia beats at 154 for sure, but maybe at 147, but 154, no. Like, he called out Boots. I think Boots beats him, but I would like to see it because, wait, who called out Sean O'Malley? Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia gonna destroy him in a boxing match. Ryan Garcia whoop him. That guy Chito Vera. You saw what Chito Vera did with that body shot to Sean O'Malley? Man, if that was Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia would have took that man's soul. Ryan Garcia, well, he gonna hit Sean O'Malley and say,
Nigga, you was a bitch!
Ryan Garcia would tear that man up in a boxing match. Gonna have to wait 5 years for that. I'm telling you. But yeah, I think Ryan Garcia and Boots, I think that's a good fight. I'm gonna tell you why. I think Boots wins. But once again, I tell people this all the time. Some people get mad. Boots and Virgil Ortiz are similar to me. They both pass the eye test. They both look great, but look great against who? Their opponents have been mediocre at best. You know what I'm saying? So I like to see fighters that are good against good competition, a good opposition. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, Boots, he passed the eye test. He looks like he has a talent, but he hasn't fought anybody that I'm like, okay, bet he looked great against this person who I know is good. Errol Spence has done that. Errol Spence looks good against people that we know are good, like Danny Swift Garcia, or Dennis Ugas, Sean Porter. Same with Terrence Bud Crawford. He looked phenomenal against Errol Spence, even though Errol Spence was, had that car accident and stuff like that. And I don't think he was 100%, but I would not discredit Terrence Bud Crawford because A lot of people forget this. They don't care about you being hurt when you win. So I told people this all the time. Even Angel Garcia, who's Danny Garcia's father, said that Errol Spence did not look the same when he went to go fight Danny Garcia. It's just that he won, so nobody cared. I've been saying Errol Spence did not look the same since the accident. He didn't look the same against Danny Garcia. He just beat Danny Garcia, so people didn't care. He didn't look the same against Ugas. He just beat Ugas, so people didn't care. So I think he also is not 100%. I don't think he'll ever be 100% for the car accident. He wasn't 100% against Terrence Crawford. But if Errol Spence was good enough to beat those guys, he should be good enough still to beat Terrence Crawford, but Terrence Crawford is just so good. So I know it's gonna sound like these things aren't mutually exclusive, right? These things could both exist. I think that Errol Spence would have did a little bit better against Terrence Crawford if he was a prime Errol Spence, but that's not gonna discredit Terrence Crawford from his win because nobody else besides Terrence Crawford could mollywop Spence like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the point is that Terrence Crawford has looked good against great people. Errol Spence has looked good against good people. Canelo has looked good against good people. Jerome Boots Ennis, unfortunately, has not had that opposition yet, so I don't know if he's good. I know my feeling in my gut and what I see, what I observe, I think Boots is very good, but I still have to see him against somebody that's good. So I wouldn't, once again, my bigger point is that I wouldn't just write off Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia and Boots might be a better fight than we think, because I'll say it like this: Ryan Garcia might be the best opposition that Boots has had. If you go look at Boots' resume. Go look at Boots' resume right now. Tell me if he fights Ryan Garcia, who's definitely a bigger name. Ryan Garcia is definitely a bigger name. Tell me who is a higher caliber fighter than Ryan Garcia. You can make an argument now. You can make an argument for Villa. You can make an argument for some, but who is? Can you tell me anybody on Boots' resume that's definitively better than Ryan Garcia? I mean, it's debatable, right? Sean in his prime right now. He's not taking that fight to these old and double MMA. Right. I don't think he should either. I'm not a big fan of these crossover matchups, to be honest, Kane. But like I said, and to be fair, if Ryan Garcia was to fight Sean O'Malley in the MMA, I have Sean O'Malley. You see what I'm saying? But it's more lucrative for these fights to happen in the boxing world. That's why all the other Francis Ngannou comes to boxing. Conor McGregor came to fight Floyd in boxing. So it's not a coincidence that these guys are, even Jorge Masvidal and is it Nate Diaz or Nick Diaz? One of the Diaz brothers are fighting Jorge. They're fighting each other and they're fighting in boxing because boxing is more lucrative than MMA. So I'm not just saying that to be biased towards boxing. If Ryan Garcia went to go fight Sean O'Malley, I would give him a better chance than I give Sean O'Malley in the boxing ring. I would give Ryan Garcia a better chance in the cage than I would Sean O'Malley in the boxing ring, but I still have Sean O'Malley. So, yeah, that's just my opinion on that, man. Yeah, so Ryan Garcia, I think that, so if he fights Boots, I think that's an interesting fight. Like I said, I have Boots, but I don't think that people should write it off as much as they do. You know, speaking of upcoming fights, Boots is not the only person that this man, that Ryan Garcia called out. You see right there. He also called out, well, I don't know if he didn't really, I wouldn't say he called out Teofimo. Somebody mentioned Teofimo. He was like, he'll fight him. And then Teofimo said, I'll fight Ryan Garcia at a catch weight. I think this is a very good fight, man. Like, before Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney, everybody would have run off Ryan Garcia. Now it's a little different, right? Especially if it's at a catch weight. I'll be honest. At 140, I have Teofimo winning. But at 140 or above, 141 or above, it gets very, let's say 143 and above, because Ryan said you can't get below 143. 143 and above, it gets very interesting, man. I think I would still lead towards Teofimo, but, and I like Teofimo. I actually had, you know, before Devin Haney lost, now I don't think you can really make the argument now, but before Devin Haney lost at 140, I thought that Teofimo was the best. I thought Devin Haney was second best, followed by Subriel Matias and then Isak Pitbull Cruz. But I was really torn between Isak and Subriel. But now that Devin Haney lost, Teofimo is clearly better. But I thought Devin Haney was eclipsed Teofimo when Teofimo had that terrible performance against Jermaine Ortiz. That was terrible. So I put Devin Haney over it. But now that he lost to Ryan Garcia, I think Teofimo's back at the number one position for me at 140. But I like Teofimo, but I don't like when people say, oh, Teofimo has a bad night when he loses. Teofimo has, that wasn't the best Teofimo. That's what happens. It can happen any night. I feel like they afford Teofimo Lopez so many excuses. Oh, against Sandor Martin, that wasn't his best. No, stop discrediting his opponents. What if Sandor Martin did something well and what if he had a game plan? What if he actually had a training camp and he implemented some things from training camp that he studied to neutralize some of Teofimo's best attacks? You see what I'm saying? Just like Jermaine Ortiz. Teofimo I think Jermaine Ortiz lost that fight because he was trying to finesse the boxing game and he wasn't trying to engage. You can't win a fight if you don't try to engage. I don't care what kind of fight it is. If it was karate, wrestling, boxing, or whatever kind of fight it is, you have to fight. And in order to fight, you have to engage. Jermaine Ortiz did not want to fight. He was trying to finesse and run the whole time. So I thought Teofimo won, but he didn't look good. He looked like he couldn't cut off the ring. And you being that should be unacceptable for a former Olympian. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like when they say, oh, Teofimo wasn't himself against George Kambosos. Yes, he was. George Kambosos beat him. So we got to stop that. So that's Teofimo. Sometimes Teofimo in certain matches, he could look great, like he did against Lomachenko. Like he looked great against Josh Taylor. And in certain matchups, like he did against Kambosos, he might not look so good. Stop discrediting his opponents. So my point is that with Teofimo, even if you want to say whether he looks great or not, we don't know what version of Teofimo we're going to get. Well, if we don't know what version we're going to get, being devil's advocate, if he comes in looking like Kambosos, like he did against Kambosos, if he comes in looking like he did against Sandor Martin, Ryan Garcia might win that. They act like everyone he loses is to. Thank you, Kane. That's so annoying, bro. They act like they're lucky, bro. That's so disrespectful, bro. But that's the difference between people who really like the sport and they like specific boxers only. Like I love this. Don't get me wrong, I'm human. I have my innate biases too. There's boxers that I like more than others, of course. But I like the sport overall more than anything. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, this person got lucky because because I like this person more. No, if you lose, you lose. Sometimes you get outplayed. It's just like any other sport, you know. So he said Murray's still playing with a broke down knee. Can this man relax? Oh, really? Wait, the game started? The Lakers and the Nuggets. So Murray is playing. Wow, I didn't think he was gonna play tonight, bro. Oh yeah, the Lakers might go home. But yeah, Kane, I don't like that. That's disrespect to Sandor Martin. And I'm not saying Sandor Martin is great, but he's out there competing just like everybody else, man. Stop discrediting these players, man. He's competing. Kambosos is competing. You know what I'm saying? So Teofimo didn't look good against them because of them. It's not because of what Teofimo did last night or the night before. Like, stop that, man. Stop that, man. Stop that, man. You're going to give these fighters their credit just like everybody else. Because if it was the other way around, if Teofimo came in and looked phenomenal against Sandor Martin, they're going to say, oh, Teofimo looked great. They're not going to say, oh, Sandor Martin had a bad night. George Kambosos had a bad night. No, bro, stop that, man. There's a reason why he might have had a bad night. It might be the person standing across the freaking ring from him in the opposite corner. The hell is you talking about? So, yeah, so I think this is a very interesting fight. Like I said, a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, I would have had Teofimo overwhelmingly as an overwhelming favorite. Now, if he fights Ryan Garcia at 143 or above, man, that's interesting, man. Like I said, I would still lead towards Teofimo, but you know, if I'm not mistaken, I think Ryan's a taller guy. He might be the naturally bigger guy, so it depends on the circumstances, man. Hey, and if Ryan's a severe underdog, I'm gonna bet on Ryan for sure. Get that money flip. Yeah, I'm watching it right now. It's 3-6 first quarter. But yeah, I think that I think we have a lot of interesting boxing, man. That's all I want to talk about. What do y'all think about that, man? Teofimo versus Ryan Garcia. Who y'all have? Teofimo versus Ryan Garcia, man. Who do y'all have? If they fought tomorrow, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say they fought at 143 pounds. They fought at a catchweight between welterweight and super lightweight. So between 140 and 147. Who y'all got? Teofimo or Ryan Garcia? I know who should be considered the better fighter. It should be Teofimo. He's accomplished more. But Ryan Garcia, you know, I think he was catapulted. Like I said, I like Ryan Garcia a lot. But I do think that he's one of the least skilled fighters at the top level. But he has heart. I think the reason why I like Ryan Garcia is because Ryan will fight anybody. He fought Tank. He fought Devin. He said he'll fight Shakur. He said he wants Boots. He said he wants Earl Spence. He said he wants Fedora. And you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. You have to believe him. But I just don't think his skill is there. But he has that heart. He has that left hook. He has that power. So I think that's an equalizer, man. It does a lot for you. And like I said, I like Ryan Garcia a lot, man. So he said, I'll put my money on Ryan. Not going. I'm telling you, Kay, Ryan versus O'Malley is the only fight. Ryan versus O'Malley is the only fight. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, Marcos. I don't know what you be talking about sometimes. The only fight for Ryan Garcia is against a non-boxer? Okay, I mean, if that makes sense to you, brother, in your little world, then hey. I guess. But yeah, so I think Ryan Garcia, man, I think him and Teofimo is very interesting. And I'll be rooting for, I like Ryan Garcia a little more than I like Teofimo, but I like Teofimo a lot too. So, like I said, the fighter that I didn't really care for is Devin Haney. I didn't really care for the top guys at 140, 135, 140, like Tank, Ryan Garcia, Shakur, Teofimo, Subriel Matias, Isak Cruz now. I even throw Lomachenko in there. I like Devin Haney the least out of them. I feel like they be capping a lot. You know what I'm saying? Him and Bill Haney. But I always respected his skills. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was a top fighter. I still don't think he's a fraud. And I like Bill Haney because Bill Haney's funny. But I also don't like Bill Haney because he be funny at the same time. You know, I don't like him because he be capping a lot and faking a lot. But I think he's good for the sport, man. I think he's an ambassador for the sport. Anybody that brings more promotion to the sport is good for the sport to be like. And like I said, he's funny. He be lying a lot, and that's what gets on my nerves sometimes. But I don't think he should change, man. I think he's a funny dude, and I think people disregard. They be like, oh, well, Devin Haney's this and Bill Haney's bad for him. What about the good things that Devin Haney, that Bill Haney accomplished for, help his son accomplish? You know what I'm saying? Taking him down to Mexico to go and start his pro career. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney wouldn't, and no offense, Devin Haney has a skill, but sometimes that tutelage in that direction gets you there too. You can't discredit that or deny that or omit that. So I think Bill Haney should be credited with a lot of the progress that Devin Haney and the accomplishments that Devin Haney has made and the accomplishments that he has made as well. Because, to be fair, unfortunately, the casual boxing fan, they like knockouts. Devin Haney's not a knockout artist. So I think part of his attraction is the fact that Bill Haney's going to run his mouth and talk all the trash. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney's got to go and, back it up. But he said, O'Malley won't happen. They are probably done with crossovers. And he's a current champion. He has too much to worry. But no. I don't think, what's the guy's name? Dana White's going to allow that to happen. Not now. Because, like you say, he's a champion. And Dana White, he knows his guy's going to lose. Worry about right now. If O'Malley versus Garcia is to happen, it'll be later on. I agree, too. You have a better chance of getting Chuck Liddell versus Holyfield. I'm telling you. Oh, you're talking to Marcos? Oh, okay, and good luck with that. Marcos is I don't know what's wrong with Marcos, man. Marcos just says anything, bro. Good luck trying to talk logic to him, man. He's one of those guys. Oh, they just say anything, man, for attention almost. But so I think that I think Teofimo versus Ryan is a great fight. Like I said, I still think 140 is the deepest division. Ryan Garcia. Well, I'm not gonna count him because he said he can't make it, but he's stuck on. He's stuck on a lot of things. Trust me, stupidity is one of them. But one of the things he's stuck on is stupidity. But so Ryan Garcia. I'm gonna take Ryan Garcia out. You still have. I'm gonna go 135, 140. You got Ryan Garcia. You got Shakur Stevenson, Tank, Subriel Matias, Isak Cruz, Teofimo. Not to mention William Cepeda. All of you have uppercomers like Floyd Schofield. Kid Austin. That's a deep division, man. Abdullah Mason's an up-and-comer. You have Keyshawn Davis somewhere in there. There's so many. Andy Cruz, Muratalla. So there's so many good fighters at that division. I think 168 is another deep division, So I just think that boxing is in a great place right now. I like to see Edgar. Who I like to see? I like to see Caleb Plant against Edgar Berlanga. I know Edgar Berlanga wants Canelo, though. Don't be surprised if Canelo fights Edgar Berlanga next. Especially with David Morrell moving up to fight what's his name? Hot Rod. Hot Rod at light heavyweight, just like David Benavidez moving up to fight Alexander Vazdik. The fact that David Morrell moved up, that puts Edgar Berlanga right in line to fight Canelo next. I think Canelo. I think similar to Ryan Garcia, I think Edgar Berlanga is the weakest skill wise of the top guys in those divisions. I don't think Edgar Berlanga beats any of the top contenders or champions at 168. I don't think Edgar Berlanga beats Christian and Billy. I don't think he beats Caleb Plant. I don't think he beats David Morrell. I damn sure don't think he beats Devin Benavidez. I damn sure don't think he beats Canelo. I don't even think he beats Munguia. I don't think he beats. As long as Jamal Charlo's healthy, I don't think he beats Jamal Charlo either. I don't know who Edgar Berlanga beats. That's why I think he's kind of has some self-awareness too, though, and I think that's why he's going after the Canelo fight so hard, because he's like, hey, I want to get a big payday while I'm undefeated, But I like Edgar Berlanga though. I like him, but I just don't think he has it, man. Shakur said he wants Tank, but we've been talking about that for ages, man. Shakur need to worry about Shakur fighting Artem Honey Union. You know what I'm talking about? It's so funny that everybody talk about Frank Martin isn't good, but Shakur is fighting somebody that Frank Martin already beat. But Frank Martin's not good, though. I like Shakur Stevenson too. You know, I think he's good, but sometimes he gets on my nerves with everybody he calls out, man. He called out Devin Haney. He calls out Ryan Garcia. He calls out Tank Davis. He calls out, you know. But then the people that call him out, he don't want to fight. Floyd Schofield kid also called him out. He don't want to fight him. But I understand that too because he's an up-and-comer. But I mean, when you go and fight, bro, and then all this talk, and then he fights Edward De Los Santos and he looks terrible. Well, you know, he hurt his hand, give him the benefit of the doubt, but the fight was boring as hell. You know what I'm saying? Almost put us to sleep. And then you come back and follow that up with fighting Artem Honeyinian. Man, nobody trying to see that, man. Ain't nobody trying to see that, man. So like I said, Shakur is definitely a pound for pound talent. He seems like a boxing prodigy, you know. And he's supposed to be Terrence Bud Crawford's protege, right? But he just, come on, man. I want to see a good performance out of Shakur, man. You doing all this talk about who you want to fight, who you gonna fight. Man, bro, you tell me. Well, what about Shakur gonna make me believe that he's ducking you? Everybody love to say somebody's ducking somebody, ducking this person. What is attractive about Tank fighting Shakur? Tell me. Have you seen Shakur's last performance? I almost don't want to see that fight. You know, I almost don't want to see no fight that has Shakur in it. It's just because I love boxing so much. I think he's such a good fighter. But given, you know, it was just one bad performance. You know, it was one bad performance. But it's like Jermaine Ortiz, too. I like Jermaine Ortiz. I don't want to see Jermaine Ortiz fight again. I don't want to see that boring fight. You over there trying to finesse the game. I want to see you box. I'm not saying that you got to go in there with reckless abandon and get hit. No, you still box. But I'm not trying to see somebody just back up all day and just try to outmaneuver somebody out there and run all day, man. So they talking about that's how Floyd fought. That is not how Floyd fought. I don't know what Floyd Mayweather they watched. If you watch Floyd versus Oscar De La Hoya, he's sitting in the paint against the ropes, avoiding punches with his head movement, with his Philly shell, with his defense, with his, you know what I'm saying? He's not avoiding punches by running the whole time and like he's on the Tour de France with freaking Lance Armstrong on his bicycle. Come on, man. That's not how Floyd fought. I watch all Floyd's fights. I ain't never seen him fight like that. Ever. I don't know what Floyd they watched. I hate when they be trying to compare what Jermaine Ortiz and Shakur Stevenson did to Floyd. That's not what Floyd did. All that yapping and no fight. Right. Even when he has a fight, he didn't fight. Even when he was literally in a fight, Kane, he didn't fight. But yeah, like I said, I like Shakur Stevenson. I respect him. I think he's one of the best. I honestly do. But I need for him to show it, man. Show me more than tell me, man. You know what I'm saying? Show it, don't tell it. Shakur had surgery recently. Same injury as low body. That's true. No. So I will give. Hey, McCullough, that's a good point. That's a good point. Hey, welcome back to the stream, my brother. I will say that you're right. He did. That's a good point. He did hurt his hand. Now, give him the benefit of the doubt. But you know who also hurt their hands? Since we talk about comparisons, Floyd hurt his hands in almost every fight. Floyd's hands was hurt in almost every fight. He still ain't fight like that. Tank hurt his hand in the second round against Esau Pitbull Cruz. He ain't fight like Shakur. And he outboxed Esau Pitbull Cruz. We know how durable and relentless he is. You know what I'm saying? That was very impressive. I think people underestimate how well that Gervonta Tank Davis could box. It's just that, you know, people are so enamored and infatuated with his knockout ability, having a high, 93 percentile, 93% KO rate. So people are just love the, you know, getting knockouts is like watching basketball and seeing a slam dunk or an alley-oop. So, of course, those are the exciting plays. But I like boxing. I thought that Gervonta Davis put on a great boxing performance, clinic and lesson against Esau Pitbull Cruz with his hand hurt. He ain't fighting. That Esau versus Gervonta wasn't as boring as Shakur versus Edwin De Los Santos. And like I said, I tell people this all the time too. I'm not just blaming Shakur. I also blame Edwin De Los Santos. Edwin De Los Santos he flies under the radar. He gets an excuse and gets a pardon because he's not the one that's on the pound for pound list. He's not the one that we expect to be the next great thing in boxing, right? We expect that for Shakur. So with great power comes great responsibility. So we're gonna blame him more, just like Teofimo and Jermaine Ortiz. Right? We're going to blame Teofimo more for that performance, for that boring performance, and we're going to blame Jermaine Ortiz, even though Jermaine Ortiz was the one that was running in this case. But Jermaine Ortiz is the one with the burden of being expected as one of the top talent or the quote-unquote undisputed champion, you know, whether you want to consider Teofimo's undisputed real or not. I consider it real, but some people would beg to differ because technicalities, it might not have been real. You know what I'm talking about? So, but Teofimo is the one that we expect to be a top talent, right? We don't expect that for Jermaine Ortiz, so he doesn't get that blame. But I also blame him. I don't want to see Jermaine. I even said it earlier. I don't want to see Jermaine Ortiz fight either. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see Jermaine Ortiz fight. I also don't want to see Edwin De Los Santos fight no more because Edwin De Los Santos, if Shakur Stevenson's hand was hurt, you really just got beat by Because Evan De Los Santos said that Shakur Stevenson was weak. So you just got beat by a boxer with one hand that has no power. So you can say he was running, but it's a squared circle. You can only run so much. Yo, KK, what's good? They're watching Floyd Mayweather. Not in fact, they're watching Floyd Mayweather. Floyd fought Canelo. He ain't fighting like that. You know what I'm talking about? They making up stats to ride Jokic now. Smart moves per. Yeah. They be riding. I ain't gonna lie. They be wild. I like Jokic a lot. Jokic is a beast, but sometimes when you watch him, you can just hear them like, dang, okay, bro. I see other people make the similar plays, bro. You don't go crazy like that. But you know what time it is, JRN. You know how that go. But Jokic is definitely a beast, though. He's definitely a generational talent for sure. That's Smoochie. Hey, let's go. Oh, Smoochie. Smooch. What up? Oh, man. Smoochie. You got to go back and watch the full stream. You see this? I implemented a new little segment here called NahmTalmBout. NahmTalmBout? NTB. For those of you uncultured, NTB is NahmTalmBout. NahmTalmBout means know what I'm talking about. That's just a little country, little southern twang on it. You know, you just run it all together. Know what I'm talking about? NahmTalmBout. Just run it all together. So I make the 6 topics and I go over them one by one. And then so for example, when we were going over the let's say Canelo, right? I go over Canelo, and then when I'm done with it, we go and cross it out. So yeah, so I was doing this earlier when I first started it, but I kind of did away with it. But I'm gonna bring it back because I actually like it. It lets you know what we're talking about, and so you can keep up and know what you anticipate and know what's coming up, what's on the agenda for today. But yeah, so I brought it back. If y'all like it, then I'm gonna keep it. If not, then we gonna get rid of it. You know, he said a little twang. You know what I'm talking about? A little southern, little twang. You know what I'm talking about? Little twang, man. But yeah, so and please too, those of you that's new to the stream, I appreciate y'all. But anybody wants to join the show, man, join. You know, I'll put you up on here if you want. If you have a camera, I'll put you up on the screen. So we have these screens there. Put you up on all the television. We can discuss boxing, man. This is a channel for, you know, we family out here, man. We talk about anything we want to talk about. We have discussions. If we, you know, we can have disagreements too, as long as we keep it respectful. And if we don't, then I don't mind getting disrespectful either. You know, just make sure you can take it, because I could definitely give it. You know what I'm talking about? So pause. Hey, yo, that sounded crazy. I could definitely give it. Sounded crazy. Hey, yo.
What?
Hold on. But yeah, so I'm just, yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I love debating boxing, talking boxing. I love the debating part too, but I just enjoy boxing, man. I'm not here to be like, oh, man, my boxing channel is dedicated to Canelo or 100% dedicated to Tank. It's dedicated to boxing, man. And I just love boxing. I respect these warriors, man. Yeah, that was crazy. I had to pause. Oh, dang, you're about to get off then? No, I'm done. But no, we could keep talking as long as we have. I'll stay on for as long as possible, as long as we have stuff to talk about. I just don't like to be sitting here and not talk about anything, because then I get to talking about stuff that we don't always have to talk boxing. Let's be clear on that. But I want to talk about something that's at least relevant. I don't want to just be out here just sharing my innermost, deepest thoughts about myself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just now I'm about to wrap up, but if we have some stuff to talk about, what are you looking forward to, Smoochie? What fight are you looking forward to out of these fights that are coming up here? So May 4th, which is this weekend, we have Canelo versus Jaime Munguia. May 6th, that Monday, guess who we have? Now you're anyway, of course, fighting on a Monday. Well, on a Tuesday, it's gonna be technically Tuesday. Got the club going up on a Tuesday. We got Now anyway versus Louis Neary. Then we have Vasily Lomachenko versus George Kambosos on May 11th. Man, May and June is crazy for boxing. I'm telling you, May and June is crazy for boxing. Oh my gosh. Got Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall, Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk, Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol. Then we got the 5v5 Queensberry Matchroom. After that, we have Tank versus Frank, and David Benavidez versus Vosnik, Alexander Vosnik, Super Matias versus Liam Paro. Then Juan Francisco Estrada versus Bam Rodriguez. I got Bam Rodriguez in that one, man. We have a lot of fights coming up. Reeves getting his ass beat and no call. That's crazy. They doing that boy like John Bones Jones out there. Hey, Reeves better tighten up. And he from like, where you from? He's from like Arkansas or Alabama or something. He's from some state with an A. I want to say Arkansas. He tough. He a tough country boy, man. He'll be all right. But yeah, so I'm trying to think. We don't have any Wednesday night fights tonight. Oh, also too, I wanted to ask you. In the way and Tank fights, yeah, me too. I'm looking forward mostly to Tank versus Frank. After Beterbiev versus Bivol, of course, that's my #1 fight. I think that's the number one fight that can be made for me as a boxing fan. And then with the second best fight being Canelo versus David Benavidez, and the third being like Tank versus Shakur or Tank versus Teofimo or something like that. So I'm looking forward to Artur Beterbiev and Bivol, but I think after that I'm looking forward to Tank versus Frank. Arkansas, this man Marcos typed a period. Oh, I'm asleep. Marcos, hey, you know Marcos? I was in somebody else's stream. I can't remember who it was. Check it out, boxing. I saw you in there trolling too. Types that wrong. Nah, I know what you meant though. I know what you meant. Yeah, you typed it wrong as hell. Arkansas. Just remember that. You good though. It's just Kansas would put an AR in front of Kansas. Arkansas. I want to ask you, why do you think all the Mayweather Promotions fighters end up leaving? That's a good question, Smoochie. I think that's kind of. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is what I think now. I think it's a little over exaggerated. So how can I say it? Mayweather Promotions, and I'm not making the excuse because I like Mayweather. I'm just giving my honest opinion. Mayweather Promotions is tied in with PBC, right? That light heavyweight undisputed fight and heavyweight dispute alone is fire, McCullough. We have 2 undisputed championships. That's crazy. Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, undisputed heavyweight. Artur Beterbiev, Dimitri Bivol, undisputed light heavyweight. That's crazy. That's fire, bro. That is, boxing is looking good, man. And we got to, shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh, and everybody else. But I will say this though, Smoochie. What I think is that Mayweather Promotions is tied into PBC. So I'm not saying it's the same thing. Number one, but it's very close. And so they're deeply affiliated. So I say that to say that look how many fighters switch promotions. If you want to, Terrence Crawford is considered a free agent, right? Pretty much, but sometimes he's affiliated with Matchroom. Sometimes he's affiliated with PBC to have that Errol Spence fight. A lot of people made a lot of noise about him leaving PBC, but he's a free agent, right? Did anybody really make noise when he quote unquote left Matchroom? You see what I'm saying? So I will say like I think it's kind of skewed a little bit. And with Mayweather Promotion, it's relatively new, and plus he's a former fighter himself. So I don't think he has the grassroots that a lot of other promotion companies has. Like Queensberry, look, Frank Warren he's been doing it for so long. Eddie Hearn has inherited Matchroom from his father. You know what I'm saying? So these are promotions that have been going on for generations and generations, like, and literally passed down as inheritances. Like Eddie Hearn literally inherited it from his father. You know what I'm saying? And he took over his father's business. So, and now Golden Boy is fairly new, but even that is Oscar working with B-Hop and working with all those other connections that he has. Canelo left Golden Boy, right? Right? And guess who's Canelo's with? PBC. So if you want to consider, remember I said PBC and Floyd, they have that connection, right? Mayweather Promotions. So if you want to look at it like that and look at it as Mayweather Promotions are tied with PBC, then how many fighters are really leaving? Is there really more leaving him than leaving others? I mean, Gervonta Tate Davis, they say he left Mayweather Promotions, but I mean, he's with PBC. Gervonta still works with Leonard Ellaby. When did Leonard Ellaby get in the game? He got in with Floyd. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think Leonard Ellaby, I know this guy. I remember looking up his information. He has his master's degree, so it's like kind of similar to me. And he stopped doing his master's degree. He was quote unquote whatever his occupation was associated with his master's degree. He was making over $100K per year, and he stopped that because he believed in what Floyd was doing. Leonard Ellaby still works with Tank, and Leonard Ellaby definitely he came up with Floyd. I know everybody has their stuff that they go through and stuff like that. So people say that they don't work together anymore or whatever the case may be, but. They usually rekindle their relationships and stuff like that. So I don't know. I sometimes I feel like people be trying to shit on certain things, in my opinion, and a lot of times it be black enterprises. I think they try to shit on, but I don't know. I could be wrong about that. So my personal opinion is that I think it's exaggerated. I don't think people leave as much as people would claim that they do. So that's just my personal opinion. But I also think that. And to answer your question too, like for example, what's my boy's name? He just left Mayweather Promotions. Jaleel Hackett. I will say that it's how can I put this? I think Floyd is so heavy in the boxing game, has his hands in so much stuff that maybe the boxers do get frustrated with the amount of time that they can get dedicated to them from Floyd and stuff like that. Because you got to think like you're working under somebody who's still, he's not an active fighter professionally, like professional boxer, but he's still actively fighting in exhibition fights. So he's still focused on his own business. It's kind of like when Jay-Z took over Def Jam and LL Cool J was like, I gotta leave, because how could I expect somebody to promote my album when they're still working on their own album? So I think it's something like that, you know. So I think that once Floyd is completely done with boxing, done with exhibitions, all that stuff, I think it'll be a little different. That's just my opinion, though. Tim versus Virgil, that's going to be fire, Jansen. Oh, my gosh. August 3rd. Jansen in the building. What's good? Tim versus Virgil. Yeah, I think it's going to be gotcha. I came across an interview with this young fighter. Yeah, I was just talking about Jalil Hackett. Exactly. He said he felt like he was being held back as a fighter for fighting. Exactly. As much as he wanted to. Yes, exactly who I was talking about. Yeah. So that's what I think. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm not looking close enough. But yeah, just from what I see, I feel like fighters. I mean, look at what's his name? Anthony Yard, Smoochie. Anthony Yard is with Queensberry, Frank Warren, right? Anthony Yard was just in on YouTube, talking about how he's not with Queensberry anymore. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like this stuff it happens, but it's just when it's, you know, certain corporations that it gets highlighted more. But this happens. So I personally don't think that. I think it's exaggerated how much people leave that. But I could be wrong too. Maybe I'm just not recognizing, or maybe I'm underestimating how often it happens. But sometimes I think people have hidden agendas and, you know, ulterior motives, unfortunately, instead of covering the sport that we all love from an honest, altruistic standpoint. They want to cover it and push certain agendas and manipulate narratives and make people think this and that. So I don't know. That's just my personal opinion, though. But I do think it has something to do with, you know, like Floyd fighting and stuff, and still being somewhat active. Is like, how can he get you fights? I could see that. What the young man said, I believe him. I mean, he probably not getting as much fights as he wants. And I could see that being the issue, you know. I could see that being the issue, but there's plenty of fighters that don't stick with their original promotional, their original promotion company, you know. So we shall see. We shall see how it goes. But yeah, it's like I said, Canelo was with Golden Boy, you know. Anthony Yard was with Queensberry. They're going through a legal thing, and you know, so yo no know. But yeah, I think that's a good question though. I'm gonna look more into that too as well, to see how much truth it has to it, you know. Because just before Canelo and Munguia happened, right? Remember, I don't know if you were, I think I talked about it a little bit. I don't know if you saw, or you just saw on your own. I remember they were saying that PBC was going out of business before the Amazon deal. And because Canelo left because PBC didn't have any money. It's like when other people leave, do they ever say that, oh, they left because Backroom doesn't have any money? They say, oh, they left because Golden Boy. When Canelo left Golden Boy, was it because Golden Boy didn't have any money? Or was it just because him and Oscar weren't getting along? You know, so, but it's like whenever somebody leaves PBC or Al Heyman, you know, they try to say, oh, it's because they ran out of money. And then what happened? They struck an Amazon deal. And then what happened? Canelo came right back to PBC. So it's like, so sometimes people try to flip narratives to fit their own agenda. Now you just got to question. So these days, you know, not only is it about getting information and doing your due diligence, but you also have to research and find out where said information is coming from. You got to check your source, because sometimes these sources don't have the truth as a priority. They have degrading or demeaning something else as a priority. And that's trash. Who do we get on August 4th? For boxing? I don't know who's fighting August 4th. That's a little bit far. I could go all the way to July 20th, and that's Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I'll have to think about it, or I don't know who fights in August. I don't know what fights we have in August. We do have some fights in August though. Is it Subriel? No. Wait, Subriel, Matias, and Liam Parles in August? No. I think it's in July. I don't know. But yeah, so that's a good question though, Smoochie. That's a good question. I'm gonna look it up right now. Let's see who Mayweather Promotions has. I always look at Mayweather Promotions as a subsidiary of PBC. I ain't gonna lie. That's how I look at it, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong for that. I just bunched them together. But I just be looking at them all as like, I be rooting for all of them because I think they're all good for boxing. Like Eddie Hearn's a beast. I think I love what Eddie Hearn does. I like what Oscar's doing. I like what Al Heyman's doing. I like what Frank Warren. I don't really know too many Queensberry fighters, to be honest, outside the 5v5, and I know a few, but it's like, yeah. So I always just look at it as a subsidiary of PBC, but maybe I'm wrong for that too. Mayweather roster is pretty bare right now. I know, because who they have? They have like what? Because they still have I don't know. They still have Tank as Mayweather Promotions. They still have, it says past, present, future. They still have Rolly. I remember Kevin Thunderstorm Johnson. He's the one that goes crazy in the sparring. They call him like a sparring legend. Jalil Hackett, who just left to a welterweight. Yeah, it's looking pretty bare. Cruiserweight, they got Andrew Tabiti. It's looking it's looking pretty bare, but like I said, I don't know. I always look at them as just a subsidiary of PBC. Because even when Floyd was talking, right? Let me say this now. I'm not saying that Floyd is most. I know he's considered some type of little disingenuous, I guess, to be kind. But if you notice, he had an interview, right? And he said we have this. He said that PBC and I, we have the Canelo fight. So once we get past that, we gonna move on. Whatever. I just saw him say that. Why would he say? We have the PBC. So he's definitely heavily tied into PBC. Al Heyman and them guys. So I'd be looking at them all as one. The Mayweather roster pretty bare. Grown-ass man missing free throws. Can this man do anything at all? Jackson Hayes is crazy, man. He got to tighten up. But yeah, what you think about that, Smoochie? I can't remember what interview it was, but it was one where he was talking about with Fight Hype, and where he's in Dubai. He was saying they're asking about his future plans and they asked him about Mayweather Promotions, and he said something about right now we're working on the Canelo and Munguia fight for this weekend for May 4th, and he said some other stuff about his plans. I was like, you gotta listen. I was like, okay, bet, pick up on some of the things that they putting out there. PB. Everybody behind you be calling him PB, pretty boy. Pretty boy Floyd. Yeah, Jackson, hey, I'm watching the game right now. But yeah, shoot, that's all I want to talk about though, man. Appreciate y'all kicking it, man. Coming and rocking with your boy for real. We did a good hour and a half. And let me know what y'all, those of you that do watch it back indeed, let me know what y'all think about the topics, how we have it. I want to do more of this. I want to do more of more stuff like this as well. Gonna keep it going with the topic, so we always have stuff to talk about, man. And yeah, man, y'all be easy. I'm about to go watch this basketball game. I'm probably gonna hop on. Hey, JR, you trying to run some card, bro? After I'm done with this little editing I gotta do. Well, actually, I don't really have to do any. Let me know you trying to run some Call of Duty, bro. Don't forget to like the video as well, man. Please don't forget to like the video. I appreciate y'all for real. We're growing, slowly but surely, and not really too slowly either, man. We kind of doing the dang thing, kind of doing the dang thing, man. So I appreciate that. Hold on. Yeah, man, you take it easy. Kane. Appreciate all y'all coming through for real, man. Like I say, those of you new to the channel, we go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I go live sporadically, between them. Sometimes I go on live more often than that, and sporadically throughout the day. But at a minimum, I'm going to be on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, I provide live boxing commentary for all the big upcoming fights. So the next one is going to be this Saturday, with a Canelo and Mungia, man. So I appreciate y'all rocking me as always, man. Don't forget to hit that like button. And yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side. We drop videos every single day, man. Every day. We out here working hard. So remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we are nothing. Y'all be easy. God bless. I'm looking for my outro. I can't find it. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Peace. Love y'all. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.